What the general consensus that is taught in schools, correct me if I'm wrong, it's that Republicans were really the Democrats back then. Abe Lincoln was actually a Democrat. In fact, I unearthed a plaque at University of Illinois Chicago that still stands to this day that says Abraham Lincoln Democrat, and they refuse to take it down. Still to this day. It's stunning. So they say that essentially the Republicans used to be the Democrats and the Democrats used to be the Republicans. So what are they really saying? Well, that Republicans have always been racist and they're still racist today. That's essentially what they're saying. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Republican Party was founded upon the election of Abraham Lincoln. The Republican Party has always been the party of human freedom, of human rights, and liberation from bondage. Has always been that party and will always be that party. Now, the Democrats founded the KKK, sent KK members to Congress, put KK members as governor, so on and so forth. But the consensus that is taught in our schools is that somehow there was this great switch, that all of a sudden there was like a handshake done in Congress and they just like switched ideological parties. Completely and totally untrue. So how do I prove that? Let's talk about it logically first and foremost. Why is it that as the South got significantly less racist over time, it got more Republican? How's that possible? It should have been the opposite. It should have been that if the South got less racist, it should have gotten more Democrat, correct? How is it that South Carolina, that has been commonly labeled as the most racist state in the country, elected an Indian American, daughter of first-generation immigrant as governor, and an openly a black senator? How is that possible with 67% of the vote? Well, it's because if you look at the trend within the Democrat Party, is they used to control the bodies of African Americans. Now they control them politically. And look no further than when this this change happened with Lyndon Baines Johnson. Now LBJ was a bitter and committed racist. He hated black people. He in fact opposed the Civil Rights Act for 20 years. He did not want to sign it. It was JFK that actually championed the Civil Rights Act. He was slaughtered in the streets of Dallas. And LBJ said, boy, I hope I don't have to get those N-word people the right to vote, because they were all Republicans in the South. So LBJ was tasked. He was tasked with a problem. He saw Martin Luther King, who was a Republican, by the way, marching the streets of Alabama, marching the streets of Mississippi, and gaining a lot of traction. So Lyndon Baines Johnson said, I got a problem here. The Civil Rights Act's probably going to pass. So what do? I make a grand bargain. My hatred for black people remains the same, but they'll probably get the right to vote. I know what I'll do. I'll control them. I'll get them committed to the welfare state. I'll cluster them geographically. We'll deteriorate their family. We'll introduce drugs into the inner cities, not police them, subsidize single motherhood, and I'll have those N-words voting Democrat for the next 100 years. Direct quote in the presidential record.